Cars.com Auto Review.
Hi, I'm Joe Weisenfelder with Cars.com. We're taking our first look at a redesigned Porsche Cayenne SUV. Now, there are those who say the first generation took a tumble-down, ugly mountain, then drove back up and went off the cliff again. To those people, there might be some relief in the redesigned version. Now, it's still bold, especially the turbo model here, but it's not quite as exaggerated as the previous model. And the way the headlights look kind of on top here makes it look more like a Porsche than it ever did. Now, this generation lost about 400 pounds versus the previous one. It might seem they did that by making it smaller because it looks smaller. In actuality, it's almost 2 inches longer, the wheelbase is longer, it just sits lower, looks sleeker, not quite as imposing. One interesting feature, I just like this rear spoiler. It's got this kind of shape to it, undulation, almost like a well-worn baseball cap. The interior in the Cayenne is actually much improved. There are still some cues from the previous version, like this handle here on either side, but the general center console shape is a lot more like that in the Panamera, so it's a new direction for them. I also really like the fact that a lot of the fake-looking, plasticky metal is gone. Now, this stuff isn't necessarily real metal, but it actually looks a lot more like real aluminum, and there's a fair amount of it. One thing I'm still not wild about is the very strange protruding shift buttons on the steering wheel spokes. Just weird and kind of plastic. Another new feature, the back seat now slides forward and back, which is actually really useful. When it's all the way back, I got plenty of leg room, even with the seat back, which is another inch or so. I got plenty of clearance. I'm about 6 feet tall. You can also now adjust the backrest to a few different positions. There does seem to be a shortcoming to this, though. When the back seat is folded and you slide it forward, which is what you might do to give you some more room, there's a big gap here. The obvious problem here is if you're sliding something large in from the back, it can drop in here, maybe a piece of furniture, a leg will drop right in there. Now, every version of the Cayenne is now quicker, more powerful than the previous one, but they're all roughly 20% more efficient based on European figures. There are no American figures yet. That's pretty good to begin with. And now there's also something new to Porsche, a hybrid version, which is another 20% more efficient than that. Compared to the V8 version, it gives about as much acceleration as the V8. So overall, changes in the new generation, pretty positive, more efficient, more powerful, more roomy. How can you lose?
For more car-related news, go to Cars.com or our blog, KickingTires.net.